Welcome back. So you want to learn how to build this responsive navbar using nextjs 13.4 app directory and tailwind CSS. I'm gonna show you how it works. So this is the mobile view, of course. Then we have our mobile navigation. We can go to whatever page we have. And we can go to our login page and sign up page. And this is actually a fixed navbar. So if we go to contact, I'm going to scroll, and as you can see, it's fixed. We can have a look on a bigger screen size. So iPad, the same thing, fixed navbar at the top. We can navigate to whatever page, doesn't matter. And we can actually go to an even bigger screen, and now we can still do the usual, still scroll, navigate, whatever. So this is responsive, and I can actually show you not only that is responsive, that doesn't grow bigger to a certain point. Okay, so if you go to really big screen like a TV, okay, this 4K size, notice how everything is contained inside this rectangle. You don't really see the rectangle, but trust me, it will not enlarge or anything. It's always inside this rectangle, even on big screens. So this is today's project, and I think it's a nice one. So if you want to learn how to do this, just keep watching. Okay, let's do this. Drag it inside Visual Studio Code, npx create next app at latest inside this current directory. There you go. TypeScript no, aslint no, tailwind yes, source no, app router of course, customize the default no. Right, we also need to install React icons. So npm I React icons. We should have them. React icons, there you go. So let's just run the development server, npm run dev 3001. So now let's start building this. Cool, time for us to do some routing then. So we have 3 pages: home, about, contact. These are the main ones, but we also have login and sign up. So we actually have 5 pages. Okay, so let's start by going inside app. I'm gonna clear this a bit. Okay, I want to grab something from here. We will not be using this font, so I'm gonna get rid of that. I want to use this code. We also do not need this. Cool. So let's go inside our root page. There you go. First, let's delete everything inside the main. We also do not need this import. I'm going to paste this, and this is going to be home. Cool. This is going to be a div, not that, a div, and in here I'm going to have a p, home. I'm going to give it a margin top of 200 because I want to make sure that I see this text, because the navbar will be fixed. I'm gonna style this a bit more. Class name, font bold, text center, uppercase, and text 3XL. Okay, so let's have a look. There you go, home, as we have it here. Cool. I'm actually gonna copy paste this, and let's then build the other pages. We have covered home, so we now need to start building the other one. So let's go about page.jsx, which is the convention. I'm gonna paste this. I'm gonna copy all of these. Next page is going to be contact, and page.jsx. The next one, let's go login and sign up. So login, inside login, page.jsx. I'm inside login, correct? I am. So okay, and we need the other one is sign up. Sign up and page.jsx. I just need to break it in here and there and there. Okay, cool. So let's test our routing. So about contact. Notice that it's changing also here, right? That's why I use that metadata thing. Okay, login, and finally sign up. Yeah, so it's all working. So we have the routing done. It's time for us to work on the navbar component, the only component that we are going to have in this project. Okay, so before moving on towards the navbar component, I actually want to first work a little bit on the globals.css file. So let's go there. What is it? Okay, there you go. I'm gonna copy paste stuff first. I'm gonna copy paste just some font, some Google font. Okay, and then I'm also, of course, gonna apply that to the body using this method. It's not the only one, but it's the one that I'm using. And then I want to hide the browser's scroll bar. If you notice, there's no scroll bar here. Even if I go to another page, I'm scrolling, but you don't see a vertical scroll bar here. And to accomplish that, the fastest way that I know is just to copy and paste this code that I copied from the internet. Nothing impressive, I know. Okay, cool. We cannot really see anything yet, but we will. So the CSS file is done for the moment. We now actually need to go and start working on the navbar component. So finally it's time for us to work on the navbar component. And I'm going to take my time to explain you this bit by bit, step by step. And why is that? Because when I was learning how to do these navbars, one thing that I realized is that many people do not explain where things go and what does what and stuff like that. And that's a bit confusing, especially if you're a beginner. So I will do my best to do not be that kind of teacher. Hopefully you will enjoy the way that I will be teaching you. Okay, so let's work then. So inside app directory, a folder, components, the usual stuff. Inside components, we are going to get our navbar.jsx. Okay, the usual stuff. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to do right away is to import the navbar component inside the layout, because that's what you normally do and need. So you have the navbar in all the pages without calling the component individually. So I imported the navbar, and then I go here inside the body, and right before the children, I'm gonna call my navbar component. That's simple. This means you will have the navbar on every single page. So I'm gonna actually open another page like about. As you can see, I'm inside the about page, I have the navbar, and then when I go to my root page, I'm inside the home page, I have the navbar, and this will happen in every pages because we included the component right there. Cool. Small detail but important one in my opinion. So now another thing for you to know is that we are using the latest Next.js version 13.4.10, and this means all the components are server-side components by default, and that is great in many cases, but sometimes we need to change it and turn it into a client-side component. For that we use useClient, and we actually need this. If we do not add this, we'll get an error, and we need this. Why is this? Because we will have to use a React hook to handle our navigation. So I'm going to import that right away, which is useState. Cool. I'm also going to import the link. Import link from next link. Okay. We should use the link tag, the link component from next, and I'm actually going to copy paste just a couple of icons, and we have installed earlier React icons. So this is the close icon, the cross, not the X, sorry, and this is the typical hamburger menu icon. Okay, cool. So now that we have all that set up, we need to start working on the navbar per se. So for that, let's go and let's start working. So what I'm going to do first is simple. I'm going to create a const that is going to handle it's going to decide which icon to show on a smaller screen. So I'm going to call this like menu icon and set menu icon, and of course this is going to equal the useState, and because we will not have this by definition. So on larger screens we'll see I'm going to show you. On larger screens we'll have the navigation, the buttons, but only on smaller screens we'll see the menu icon or the close menu icon. Okay, so this is why it starts as false. Cool. Okay, but we also need to create a small function that is going to handle this change. So it's going to toggle between one icon and the other because we have the two, the open and the close icon. So I'm going to call this handle smaller screens navigation. Smaller screens navigation. Okay, this is quite long name, but for me, I find it important. To have descriptive names. So I look at the code and it's faster and easier to menu icon, set menu icon. Not menu icon, sorry, just menu icon. I'm gonna say set icon. That's all. Sorry. Set icon. And I'm gonna use this to update. So basically, on click, we are going to toggle. We are going to negate whatever icon is there being displayed at the time, and we are gonna switch it. Okay, because we'll call this function on click. Okay, set icon, menu icon. So starts as false, and this function on click will go and do the opposite of the icon that is being displayed. So we kind of toggle, we do toggle between the icons. Okay, the navbar. We are not going to have a div. We are going to start with the header, which is not caps lock, sorry, header, HTML5 semantic tag, and then we're gonna use a nav tag, which is also HTML5 semantic tag. Okay, so let's start by, I'm now gonna start by styling this header, and I'm gonna give it a BG slate 400, text a custom color, this greenish color, CEFF00, kind of greenish color. The width, it's going to be full for the header, is in duration, not 500, 300, it's enough. It's going to be a fixed header, fixed, so the navbar is going to be fixed, so it's going to be a fixed header. Top 0, and left 0, z index of 10. So it stays at the top. So you scroll and the content goes underneath, as we can see here. See, the content is going underneath because this is fixed and has a z index. Cool. A higher z index, I must say. Okay, and then the navbar, we also need to give it a style. So basically the header it's going to stretch across the screen regardless of the screen size. But the navbar will not grow bigger to a certain point. So it needs a max width. And I decided to go with 1366. You can adjust these to your own preferences. Okay. And then MX Auto, a height, custom height of 100 pixels, and using Flexbox, I want to justify between, this is Flexbox stuff, items, center, and a padding to all sides of 4. Cool. Here we are going to have a div, not a dir, a div. Okay. This div will contain the logo. Okay, this logo. So we are going to use the link that we imported at the top. So link. Okay, link href, it's going to the root, to the home page, right? The link, it's actually going to be a span tag, and this span tag is going to say just JavaScript, and we need to, of course, to style it a bit. So, oops, wrong place, class name. So I want this to have a font of extra bold, text 3XL on MD, because we will have a certain, at a certain point we'll have like we're seeing here. See, this is MD, but there's this point where we have the buttons, the logo, and the menu. So we want to decrease this a bit. So start as 3XL, but on MD the text goes to 2XL, right? But then again on larger screens the text goes back to 3XL. And always uppercase. And that's what you can actually see in here. If I show you, so 3XL, and then on MD, see the difference goes to 2XL, but then if I keep enlarging, it goes back to 3XL. So 3XL, 2XL, 3XL. Okay. And we start to see something great. What else do we need? Okay, so okay, we on click we want to use the logo. I'm just gonna copy paste this for the moment and show you later once we get to that part. So I'm now calling this function on click. That is not going to do anything on bigger screens, but on smaller screens, if the navbar is open and if you click the logo, that will take you obviously to the home page and also close the navbar. You will see that better once we finish that. So now I'm actually going to copy just a comment that I find important for you to know what goes where and what we are doing. So now we are going to work on the largest screen navigation. So it's going to go here, roughly. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay, cool. So what do we need then? So we of course need a UL, an ordered list, and inside this UL we're gonna have the LIs and the links, but let's just style so I don't forget the UL. So it's gonna be hidden because we want to only show this when we get the MD point. So anything smaller we don't show it actually. I'm gonna show it to you. And then on MD breakpoint, you're gonna say flex, uppercase, font, semi-bold, and text 1XL. On larger screens, I want the text to grow to 20 pixels, so slightly bigger. That's why I'm using a custom amount. And the color, it's going to be text slate 800. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So I'm going to say test, whatever. And now, see, this is where our navigation is going to be. But you don't see this on smaller screens, okay? Because on smaller screens, up to medium-sized screens, we want to show the icons. So only at this point onwards, we start to see the navigation. I hope you understand what I'm showing to you. If not, you will understand better when we finish this, okay? But that's what we are trying to accomplish. Okay, I have my UL. Inside my UL, as I said, we need to have our LIs. LI, and inside an LI, I'm going to have the link component one more time to help us to navigate. So href, and this one is actually still go to the home, and this doesn't have to be on the second line. I can just say home here, and I can style my LI. I need to be inside my LI. So class name, cool. And this is the other way around. Not the other way around, sorry. Forget what I just said. So margin right of 4. On LG breakpoint, I want the margin right to be 8. On other, I want the text to have this color right here, just on other, because the text is black, but on other changes to this color. Great, I don't think I'm forgetting anything, and that is good, I guess. Okay, let me see. Okay, so we need now the other 2 pages, because the buttons will take us to the other pages. So the other one is about, and the last one is contact, cool. Okay, contact, about, home. Oh, I said home, sorry, I made a mistake here, of course. There's no home page, it's the root page. Silly me. This is why we saw this error. So let's try this one more time. Home, about, contact. All good, all working, perfect. So the routing is done. And as you can see, on smaller screens, we see nothing yet because we need to work on displaying the icon on smaller screens. Smaller up to MD will display the icon here, okay? And this is what we are going to accomplish with the help of this bit of code, okay? But on larger screens, we do see the navigation. And then we also need to add the buttons. But for now, this is good, and I think you understand what I'm doing here. Okay, cool. So now let's work on showing the buttons, okay? Let's work on those buttons. So I'm gonna have a div, okay? Class name. This div it's going to be hidden. One more time, we only show this div and these buttons on bigger screens. So on smaller screens we do not show those buttons. We'll show the buttons, yes, but inside the mobile navigation, not there. Okay, which means on MD it's always hidden, but on MD I show this div that will contain the buttons. I'm going to say buttons for you to see. See, if I am on a larger screen, I will get my buttons here. But when I reach smaller screens, I do not see navigation, I do not see buttons, I do not see anything, I will just see the icon. So this is what we are doing. Okay? Cool. Okay. So these buttons, they actually live inside a div because I need to align them. So I'm going to say div. Okay. And this div, I'm just going to say class name flex. So I align them side by side on the same row. And then I'm going to then grab my link component one more time. Okay. And href. The first one will take me to the login. Okay. And I'm gonna get like a button. So I'm gonna say button. And this button needs to be styled, of course. Class name. So margin right 5. The BG is going to be this yellowish color, right? BG. And the text is going to be slate 800. But then on other, I want to swap as usual. So on other, the BG is actually going to be slate 800, and on other, the text color is actually going to be this one. So we swap colors, the usual thing that you see. Rounded full, okay, and uppercase. uppercase. And the text is going to be login, but I also need a font bold, padding X of 8, this is the padding of the button, and the padding Y, so vertically, of 2, and this is going to be login. Let's have a quick look. Cannot see it yet, of course, there you go, but where is wrong? Oh, rounded, made a typo there. Okay, there you go, see? Boom. Coming along, cool. This is the first button. I'm gonna make some room so you see what we are doing. I'm actually gonna copy paste this one to be a bit faster. This one will take us to the sign up page instead. So sign up, which means here we type sign up, but we need to change the styling a tiny bit. Okay, so so I don't mess up, I'm actually gonna remove this. So I want to give a border of 2, and the border color is going to be this one. Okay, text is going to be white. Rounded full is going to be the same, so it gets the same shape. Also still uppercase, font also bold. Okay, padding X of 8, padding Y of 2, so they look the same. Boom, there you go. See? Boom. Cool. Let's see if they work. Login, sign up, I made a typo there. There you go. This is why you test your routing. And then if I go here and say this, sign up this time. Okay, it works. Boom. It's all working like it should. Cool, amazing. And do we have the sign up? Yeah, login also at the top. Cool. Perfect. So the routing is done, all the pages are done, and the buttons. The only thing that we need to work on is actually the smaller screen navigation. As you can see, we have the navigation for larger screens, we have the buttons. Now we need to first show like the menu icon here and work on the smaller screen navigation. And this is what we need to do right away. Cool. So for that, we need to, I'm gonna bring just 2 comments so I know where I'm at. So we need to work on the smaller screens, the navigation icons, we need to display them. And on click of these icons, with the help of this code, we will swap the icon. Okay, so that's what we are going to do right away. So we need a div for that. And this div, I'm going to copy paste. On click is going to handle our navigation. So on click does that. And the class name is going to be, it's going to be always flex. But once again, on medium size, we want to make it hidden. So when we show the icons, we do not show anything else. When we show everything else, we do not show the icons. So I'm going to say icons. So you see what I mean. See? Bigger screens, we get the navigation and the buttons. Smaller screens, so anything mobile up to medium size, we will display the icon here, the icons one at a time. See, this is what we are trying to accomplish. This contact, I'm noticing that this is not aligned because I copied pasted, and I do not need this margin right to the last item, in fact. So this is gonna adjust. Okay, now it's correct. Cool. So now let's work on displaying the icon here, and then we'll work on the navigation per se. Okay, so inside this div, this is where we will use some logic to figure out what to do. So basically, the menu icon starts as false, right? So we want to say, if menu icon changes from false to yes, so if this is true, and this is what I'm doing, I want to do something else, I want to do something else. And in this case, I'm just gonna copy paste so I don't mess up the correspondent icons. I'm just copy pasting them. So I'm just deciding, actually I need to put this on a different line, there you go, not like that, like this. I'm putting this vertically so you see what happens. So menu icon starts as false because we do not display initially the menu icon, okay? Unless it's a smaller screen, because on medium size onwards we do not display it. So if you are on a smaller screen, we do display the menu icon. And if that's true, if you are displaying this menu icon, then on click we want to handle the navigation and display the close button icon. So let's see this in action. See, when I click, so I'm on a larger screen, I don't see those icons. When I go to a smaller screen, this point, and smaller than this, I get the menu icon. So the menu icon now changes from false to true, and I get this icon because we are in a breakpoint that is smaller than MD. Okay, then I show this icon, and when I show this icon, when I click this icon, I get the close icon, and so I basically toggle between icons. But this is not doing anything. So when I click this icon, I want to show like a smaller screen navigation area. That's what we are going to do next to finish up this, okay? So, what else do we need to do now? So now one more comment. This is for the icons. Now we are really going to start working on the smaller screens navigation, the smaller screen navbar. So I do not need these icons here, it's just a navbar. This is the icons, so yeah. So I need to have a div. So I'm gonna need a div, okay, and this div also needs to handle some logic. So class name, and I need to use some logic here, and if menu icon is true, if it's open, I want to do something with it basically. And I want to do something else. I'm just preparing the syntax here a bit so we see where we are at, because I think this might be easier for you to follow. So if this is true, do this, else do that. So I will be applying classes depending on either this is true or not. So on MD, I want hidden. So I want to hide it. Absolute. And then top 100 pixels. Because my navbar it's 100 pixels. The height is 100 pixels. And then right, I want 0. Bottom, I also want 0. Left, 0. And then flex box. So flex, justify, center, items, center, width, full, height, screen. So I want to, when the navigation opens, I want to take the full width of the screen. BG, slate, 800. Okay. What else do I need to do? I need to make the text white so it's readable, visible, readable. And I want to do some is in and duration 300 again. I think this is what we used. And now we need to work on the other bit, which is on MD, also hidden, because we want to apply this up to MD. So the first thing is on MD onwards, forget it. Absolute. And the top, now the top is going to be, it's going to be the same. The top is going to be 100 pixels. This is where this starts. So right 0, left, and this is the important one. This left, I'm gonna make it negative 100%, so it's hidden until it's clicked. The icon is clicked. Flex, and then justify center, items, center, the width, it's going to be full. Once again, the height is going to be screen. And of course I need to keep styling this. So let me see, I'm a bit lost. So the BG is going to be slate 800, text white, and then text center. So whatever it's there, it's aligned to the center of this vertical box. And then the same here. Okay, and this is something, so I'm gonna say smaller screens nav bar, whatever. So let's see this in action. So there you go. I'm actually gonna close our initial project, we don't need it. So this we know, and when I click this is gonna open, hopefully. Yeah, it does. From left to right, actually, not from the top. As you can see, this is what we are doing. And then we are going to then include our links here and our buttons. But you see where I'm going with this. And we can check that on the mobile view. Boom, look at that. Cool. So let's continue then. We need to, I'm gonna just, oh come on, I'm gonna make it this big, it's more than enough, because now we are working actually on the navbar, so this is more than enough. Cool. So in here we need another div, so another div, so nested inside we need another div. And this div will contain our UL and our buttons and all of that good stuff. Okay. I'm actually gonna copy paste another comment so you actually know where you are and you are not lost and do not mess up things. This one I just want to give a full width. So width full, cool. And in here, we need to start building our navigation. So I'm gonna need UL for that, cool. And then inside this UL, as usual, we want to have our LIs. So li, okay. And let me just style this UL first. So, sorry, not there. Class name, uppercase, always uppercase, always font bold, okay, and text to Excel. Cool. Forget about this. Okay. The important thing is that on click on each UL, when this gets clicked, I will be taken to the page, the correspondent page, but I also will close my navigation, my navbar. Okay, that's what we are doing here. So that, but I also need to style this li. So class name, which is going to be padding y of 5. So I give vertical padding to them. On other, I want to change the text color to this color right here. So to that color, and cursor pointer. Cool. Now I'm going to use the link one more time to deal with the routing. Link, cool. And href. The first one will go to the home. I actually don't need to put it on the second line. There's no point for this one again. Home. And let's see what we have so far. Boom. But I thought I had text center in here. Text center, I do have it, so why is not centering? Funny. Let me just have a quick look. What am I forgetting? Item center. So item center. So why? Justify center flex. Funny. Let me just restart the server. If it doesn't work, I will take a look at it in a second. npm run dev. Okay, leave it like that for the moment. We'll go back to it to fix it in case it's necessary. So the page, the next one is about, and this goes to the about route, and the last one is going to be contact. This takes us to the contact route. Let's then test this. Okay. It's loading. My computer is slow. I'm sorry. About contact. So the routing is working here. Cool. So now we also need to have another div for the buttons. Okay. So the buttons will go here. Buttons. So we need another one, for the buttons. Cool. So this div also needs to be styled, of course. Class name of flex flex call because I want them to be stacked on top of each other, so vertically. Justify center, items center, and margin top of 16. This is for the div itself. Then I'm gonna need to use my link. Okay, link. Come on. My link, cool. This link will contain a button. So I'm gonna put a button inside, and this link will take me href to where? To the login. Cool. And when the button is clicked, I also want to handle, oops, sorry, wrong shortcut. When the button is clicked, I want to also close my navbar. So opens the login page and closes the navbar. The button itself is going to have a class name, BG with this color that we've been using, right? Text is going to be slate 800, rounded, full, uppercase, font bold, padding vertically of 3. I want a specific width of 250 pixels and a margin bottom of 5. I don't think I'm forgetting anything, and this goes here, login. Okay, I'm just gonna copy this first one. This doesn't go to the login, but to the sign up, and this goes to the sign up. This one again has a different styling, so I'm gonna just copy. So I think I can just copy this part right here. Let's have a quick look. Looks good to me. These are not aligned. I need to see what's going. Oops. We just need to align this. This is aligned, so it looks like I forgot to add text center here. And this should fix my problem, and it does. So cool, all working. Looks all good to me. The routing is done. We are almost done. I'm just gonna add some text here so you see that you can scroll and the navbar stays fixed at the top. I don't think we are forgetting anything in here. Let me just have another quick look, but yeah, this looks all good to me. I think the navbar is all done, so we need to go to the contact page, I believe, and I'm just gonna actually copy paste just a div to be faster, of course. I'm gonna go to the contact page, so contact, and inside this div I'm gonna paste another div, and this should work. And now we can see that the navbar is in fact fixed at the top, and we can scroll, and we do not get the browser scroll bar, and the content goes underneath the navbar. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Let's have another quick look. So Home, about, contact, login, sign up. Home takes us to the home and closes the navbar. Contact does the same. Sign up does the same. And if this is open and I click the logo, it will also close. So you can close the logo here, of course. You can close, sorry, the navbar here. Or if you click here, it's gonna close this. Look, boom. Yeah, so the project is fully finished. I hope you guys enjoy it. This was it. If you enjoyed what you saw, just leave me a like and consider subscribing and let me know what you think of this navbar. Did you like it or what? Let me know in the comments. I want you to write it so I can read it, so I can keep doing this stuff for you, for the world to see. Okay, bye.